Hello everyone, it's Sarah, Painter Creator here, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Doing whatever makes you happy, as long as it makes others happy too. That's a bonus, isn't it? So today I thought I would do a fairly straightforward Hanukkah card for some of our creative friends. It's soon to be Hanukkah and giving and receiving cards is beautiful, and so I've just sketched out this menorah and I've used my Unipin fine liner waterproof pen. This is a 0.1, but any waterproof pen will do. If you haven't got a waterproof pen, you will have to do the inking afterwards. And I'm just using a quarter sheet of my Creative Peak watercolour paper. Great paper if you're on a budget. And I've given my paints a little bit of a spritz. And I'm using these Cotman watercolour set, which I've had for a while now. I keep buying extra bits and pieces for them and replacing them, but you can replace them with a tube paint, which is great. So I give your paints a spritz, grab a paper towel and your brushes, and let's give this a go. So I've got my small mop brush, a number 3 and a number 1, so fairly small because I'm working small today, and we're going to enjoy this one. So to start off, I'm going to grab a little bit of a wax candle. I hope you found this one that had obviously been against a heat source and ended up a bit messed. And I'm going to just put it at the top of where I've got the flame's going to be, the white bit of the flame. That'll just resist that. If you haven't got a wax candle, you can use a wax crayon. It's fine, all works, no worries. So let's go in with our mop brush, and I'm going to wet this area around the menorah. Loosely with some water, and I'm waiting for that water to settle in to the paper. You don't want it running wet, but you do want to have some water around to help with that flow. And I'm just stopping at the point where the table will be. So this is going to be the background. Let's just wait a minute. I've still got a few puddles. I am working on an angle of around about 15-20 degrees. I prefer working like that, but you could do this flat. So I'm just picking up some indigo out of my palette, and I'm just dropping that indigo in up to those lines. And I'm just letting the paint spread with encouragement. So on the top here, I'm going to have a candle, and then there's going to be same. Just going to soften that out with a little bit of water. In a minute, I'm going to come back and drop in some yellow for the flame. So I'm just going to go around. So the way I paint is loose and enjoyable for me. If you prefer to paint more realistic, then don't put the water on and just do each section by section. But this is how I like to paint. It's less stress. Drop some water into there. A little bit of indigo around that main one. Drop some water in. Oh, I've got a hard line, that's really naughty. Okay, now hard line. Let's go. Normally happens when I haven't got enough water on my paper. Hard lines. And as you can see, I've gone over that bit, but it's fine. I'm talking too much and painting too little. Let's put some water in here. I'm just going to lift that flat. I'm just going to have a little spray bottle and we'll just spritz into this side so we can get some water in. Got a big just going to darken this bit with a bit thicker paint. I want that darkness. Okay, so just going to lift off a little bit of this swirl there. Okay, so you can see where I put my little wicks. So I'm swapping now onto my little number 3 brush. I'm getting some thick Gamboge yellow. I'm just dropping that around the wicks. That needs some water on it first. So immediately you've got a glow of the light. And then I'm getting my trusty salt. A little bit of a sprinkle of salt. Yeah, only a little pinch. And you really have no other option other than to let this dry naturally. If you hurry it up, it doesn't work. And I'm just going to get a thirsty brush and just soak up this puddle that's at this end. Otherwise we'll end up with a big cauliflower. And I don't want that. So nice. Just drop a little bit more yellow in around these flames. It's all still wet. I like that. So we're going to let that part dry naturally, and when we come back we'll be able to do the table, because if I do the table now it'll just run into one and it won't look right, and then the menorah, and put the candles on themselves and we should be all right. I'll lift that a little bit. I don't mind that blue background for this, but I really like how that's working, and we've got a little bit of salt working here already. So I shall press pause and I'll be back with you soon. Okay, I'm back with you. Hopefully you can see how some of these salts work nicely. I've got the heating on, and so sometimes they don't progress as well as others. This is still damp, so I'm not going to rub that off yet. That might just take a few bits. So this is where we're at. So the next bit for me is to get my little number 3 brush, and I'm going to just go with some burnt umber with a touch of ultramarine in there, quite thick. A little bit more ultramarine. What a nice chocolatey browny colour. And I'm just going to paint the bases of the candle holders. Now I'm doing these brown. I'm going to do a wooden candle holder, but obviously they come in all sorts of colours, and so you could get your glitzy silvers and golds and all sorts on for this, but I'm just going to do a nice wooden one. And so I'm going to do this base in the same of that dark toned wood. so into that now, I'm going to add some burnt sienna. A bit warmer, a bit brighter. Run out of that colour. Just going to have to mix some burnt sienna and some burnt umber and a little bit of ultramarine. More ultramarine. There we go. We're back in business. Let's do nice colour. It's a bit thicker, is that one? And then I'm just going to drop a little bit of indigo into that mix. It's a nice dark. I'm just going to run that dark on the base of each of the arms. Trying to just build up a little bit of a 3D effect, and then I'm going to put this dark across the table, the edge. There we go. So time to just give that a little bit of a dry with a hairdryer. So we've just got the table here, so I'm just going to wet that with a little bit of clean water. And I'm going to just use some cobalt blue in contrast to the darkness. And I'm just going to then pick up some of the same yellow, and I'm just going to drop that in to be the reflection on the table. So the last little bit is to put the candles on, and I don't want them overly fussy, and I'm going to use an opaque colour. I'm going to use lavender, but you could use any colour you want, and they are literally just one stroke down, one stroke. And then I'm going to do the top one. So there's the candles done. I'm going to just strengthen those flames with another layer of the same Gamboge yellow to make more of a flame shape over the top. Let's have hope in the world for everybody. I'll drop a little bit of water going through here just to disturb that reflection a little bit, and I'm going to just dry it and then we'll see how it looks. So we're back with you. Let's just sign it. You could write Happy Hanukkah over there, whatever you want. Let's just take these tapes off. And there we have a lovely little Hanukkah card front. And I hope you've enjoyed that and that you give it a go. So until next time, I'll see you soon. Like, subscribe, all the rest of it. And please, if you're interested, join my Patreon channel. Just it's around about £5 a month, and there's lots on there for you. So see you soon.